Kendrick Lamar diss track, Meet the Grams, directed towards Drake, has opened a can of worms, especially when it comes to Drake being into girls not of age and actually being involved in his own trafficking ring, similar to Diddy. So I'm Joseph Morris. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, ring the bell, and let's investigate this together. So for the past decade and a half, a shadow has loomed over Drake's interactions with very young women, sparking a flurry of speculation among his fans. It all began with a viral clip from a 2010 concert where Drake, then 23, brought a girl on stage. What followed was a series of unsettling actions. I mean, he danced close to her, whispered in her ear, smelled her hair, and even kissed her neck. But what truly raised eyebrows was his casual inquiry about her age mid-performance. And I mean, yikes. Drake walks away while making a joke about going to jail before turning back to her and saying, quote, 17, why do you look like that? You thick. I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your feel against my chest, end quote. That was just too much. I mean, he should have just stopped when he learned she was 17. And I can understand how this may have been a crowd interaction gone wrong, but him continuing to make comments about her body, I mean, girl, you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal kind of thing, and kissing her multiple times after learning her age, made me feel so uneasy about the entire situation. And we can't say like this was like the 1950s or whatever. Like this was literally 10 years ago. It wasn't that much different of a time. But this wouldn't be the last time Drake finds himself being around very young girls, because it's about to get a whole lot more serious, so hold on to your horses. In a 2023 No Jumper interview with producer Little Sissy, she discusses how she first met Drake, saying that in 2015 she was on a high school basketball team. Drake was apparently a huge fan of women's high school basketball. I mean, what? That is like a super weird thing to be a fan of at any age, especially 29. So Drake began to follow them around after their games and make catcalls towards them, commenting on their body. She was just 15 at the time. That same year, Drake posted on his Instagram celebrating the release of his best friend, Baka Not Nice, who at the time was a member of his security team. And we can get into his security team, but his team are not nice people and they act on his behalf. They are known to put paws on people. So let me know if you want a video on that. Leave a comment. Baka, this guy Baka, was in jail for making a woman who was 22 an ex-worker and passing her onto his friends. The now deleted post by Drake read, quote, something in the air today. A lot of good things happening at once, but this one means the most. Been waiting 11 months, finally home 1 year later, end quote. And yeah, I see why he deleted this, because this is not a good look. And get this, Drake signed Baka to his record label after Baka was released from the cage. Then the woman who was Baka's target didn't continue to press charges and refused to cooperate with the authorities. And a lot of people suspect that Drake paid her off so his friend Baka could have a career in music. And I haven't heard of Baka until now, so I think his music career flopped. It's hard to find any details on this case because it's now been scrubbed from the internet, but apparently there were multiple women involved, some that were 16. So Baka is still a part of Drake's entourage till this day, and you know what they say, birds of a feather flock together. So Drake, what skeletons are you hiding in your closet? We'll get into that. Kendrick called Drake out on this latest track. Kendrick also talked about how Diddy peed on Drake's leg as well. But again, that's for a whole other video. But maybe in that moment, Diddy was somehow passing on his creep energy to Drake, because it happened very early on in Drake's career, apparently at a movie theater. Anyway, the streets are saying the feds are investigating Drake after they were tipped off about Drake's and Baca's ring that they ran together. So around the time of Baca's release, Drake started selling his properties in America, which was highly sus because Drake has money. And you just know the streets just started saying that he did this because if someone Drake and Baca targeted wanted to pursue what they did to them, they would go after his properties for a payout. So this is sort of like a preemptive move and trying to keep it all quiet in the States. In May of 2016, 29-year-old Drake was spotted eating dinner with 18-year-old Hailey Bieber in West Hollywood, or WeHo, as I call it. People were saying at the time that Hailey was working as a yacht girl, which is a high-end pay girl that would entertain rich men on yachts, and there's nowhere to run away because you're stuck in the middle of the ocean. So due to their allegedly flirty interaction and Drake wearing a matching H necklace, rumors of them dating began circulating, with Entertainment Tonight even saying that the two hooked up at Drake's Memorial Day party. And I mean, how would they have known this? Would they have like peeked into the bedroom? But during this time, Hailey did an interview with E! News, revealing that she'd known Drake for around 4 years, meaning that Drake, 25, first met Hailey when she was 14. So Drake's affinity for girls around this age mostly flew under the radar with no one batting an eye, but a pattern started to slowly emerge, and the company Drake keeps and how he makes girls sign NDAs began to raise some eyebrows. So in 2018, a now 32-year-old Drake released a song called Nice for What, featuring the line, quote, "High school pics, you was even bad then," end quote. 3 months later, an article titled, "What Would You Do If Your Teenager Became an Overnight Instagram Sensation" was released by The Guardian, detailing a story about a girl, 15, going viral on Instagram after being tagged in pictures at Coachella. And what was she doing at Coachella? Like, where are her parents? The article describes the photos of the girl wearing revealing clothing like short shorts and a skin-tight bodysuit. Her mother recounts the moment she realized how popular the photos got when her daughter revealed on her social media that she was back in Toronto. Next thing you know, her daughter, 15, was receiving a call from none other than Drake, who's from the Six, asking if she wanted to meet. Her daughter went through with it. The story just has so many twists and turns, and her mother said Drake made her daughter sign an NDA, so the rest is kept quiet. So we don't really know what happened in Drake's mansions behind closed doors, but it's highly, highly sus, and he did drop a major hint. So later that month, Drake would release a song called Jaded, featuring the line, quote, "We could have waited. I wasn't rushing. Differences in ages, you're still a baby," end quote. Now, I don't know about you, but doesn't that heavily imply that they did the dirty? And get this, 2 months later, Millie Bobby Brown, 14, would attend the Emmys and mention in a red carpet interview that her and Drake, 32, text each other after meeting each other in Australia. So how did they meet? Well, Millie was invited backstage to his concert. Millie went on record to say that their conversations were harmless and mostly surrounded him giving her boy advice. But she did let it slip that they text each other that they miss each other. And why would Drake, 32, text Millie, 14, he misses her? Sounds like textbook grooming to me. And it also sounds to me like Drake has a really good NDA that he uses to make women backtrack on what they say. So a month later, as Drake was on tour, blind items began circulating with people speculating who the noted foreign-born A+ list singer/rapper could be. So this blind item reads, earlier this year, we got a first-hand account of the grooming done to the foreign-born 3-named teen actress. Now, it is confirmed that this foreign-born 1-named A+ list singer did the same thing to the same girl. It was revealed Millie Bobby Brown and Drake.
No seu dia a dia, você pode controlar muitas coisas, incluindo o seu consumo de energia.
Food stamps, welfare, Section 8.
And this time, I did find a tweet from Drake where he congratulates Kendrick on the win. Congrats to Kendrick as well. nothing was the same. With all that said, things were about to change. August 12th, 2013 was...
Real quick, y'all. Do y'all think he's sensitive? Do y'all think he's hypersensitive? It's something about this dude that just never sat right with me. I like your shoulders. I just love her shoulders.
Was a special moment for hip-hop. To this day, it still stands out as one of the most exciting things to happen in the last decade. On Big Sean's Control, Kendrick let everyone in hip-hop know just how competitive he was when it came to that #1 spot.
We hear you know the answer.
It's alright, y'all. Do not have premium.
Of course.
Just take this time to like the video. Alright. Hit us with another one. Anyway, like the video. Here we go.
With the same I'm rhyming with, but this is hip hop and the should know what time it is. And they
Give it up for Big Sean, because to me, he had one of his career best verses, but it just got overshadowed because of Kendrick's verse.
I said fuck trying and not doing, cause not doing is something a nigga not doing.
This hip-hop is competitive, but I am a competitor.
Wait, sorry. Nobody had a problem except for Drake.
I just I don't know, it just wasn't real to me. It's like, I saw him after that, and it was just like love. So it's like, was that real, or was that just like for the people? You know what I mean?
I think it's a sparring kind of sport.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, then let it be real then, I mean, because those were harsh words, right? So it's like.
What did I just ask y'all?
You can't just say that and then see me and be like, yeah, man, what's up? Pretending like nothing ever happened. Like, that's not real.
And this right here is a perfectly good example of why people call Drake soft and emotional. You can't act this way and then sit back and wonder why people are labeling you as such. Like, this is why. And it's interesting because when Drake came into the game, he seemed to understand that competition came with the genre.
It's a great thing, though, to be competitive with those guys, because you're always pushing yourself. I mean,
and look, Drake was not a rapper that you could just push around. He did go toe-to-toe with people before. Back in the day, a Toronto rapper by the name of Aristo seriously tried to end Drake's career, and it didn't end well for this guy.
And it's the room of resolution, I'm finishing it in here. If I copy Buddy's flow, you mimicking his career.
It was good riddance, it was lights out, it was a body, and that's what it was, man. And that's why, good riddance. And what happened? Good riddance, right? Bye.
I remember when this dropped.
Bye.
Because it was all over the hip-hop blogs in Canada. And yeah, we did have hip-hop blogs in Canada in 2009. They did exist. With all that said, Drake dropped Nothing Was the Same, and we get to hear the first subliminal shot for Kendrick. On the track titled The Language, Drake immediately starts out with a shot.
I don't know why they been lying, but your shit is not that inspiring.
So when Kendrick's Control verse dropped, Drake stated on multiple occasions that he did not find the verse impressive, that he thought it was for shock value, and that it would soon be forgotten.
But it was real cool for like, a couple weeks. But like, if I asked you, for example, like, how does that verse start?
One of Drake's more notable claims was that Kendrick had a great first album, but he questioned whether or not he could do it again.
And as far as Kendrick goes, like, I can't wait to see what he does, because now it's time to show and prove. And consistency it's been one album. Consistency is like, you need more than one album. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's time to show and prove. And
Drake claimed that he was all about putting out memorable bodies of work as opposed to creating moments.
When it comes to competition, I'm more worried about consistency. I'm more worried about bodies of work.
However, Drake continues to send some more shots.
Okay, nigga, that's talking.
Excuse me, this wax, y'all. Anyway, how do you beef with a dude that got ghostwriters? Anybody? Somebody?
That shit just to get a reaction.
Again, Drake refers to Kendrick as someone that wrote the Control verse to get attention.
I am the kid with the motor mouth. I am the one you should worry about.
A motor mouth is defined as a person who talks quickly and continuously, often without considering what they're saying. In this case, someone that raps fast. Is clearly about Kendrick.
Talking that shit with your back to me, just know it always get back to me.
So outside of the DMX comment, there were some other interviews where Kendrick had laughed at Drake's expense.
I heard about you touring with Drake. I was like, that's dope, that's dope. And I was like, well, I hope he doesn't hang with Drake too hard because Drake isn't exactly doing what we thought he would, what many of nerdy backpackers like myself thought he might be doing